All right, this is our panel 1 discussion.
All right, so panel 1 is how can we engage Muslims on a personal level? What are some cultural or religious pitfalls that harm our Christian witness when engaging Muslims in our daily lives? How can we develop a missional lifestyle and seize opportunities to love Muslims and share the gospel with them? And that's called engaging at your doorstep.
All right, so last year, if you remember, we had our main theme was encountering, right?
Yeah.
And the idea was that we are in our everyday life we are encountering people. So help me to understand. I can't name you. Can I use your name, or I can't use your name?
I guess you can use
All
mine.
right, Joel. So thank you. I like that. So Joel, help us, those who are watching this video, just help them to understand, and me too. Why should somebody go to this session? Why this session is there? This panel group? Why? And please jump in anytime you want, dear sister. We're not gonna name you, but sister.
Well, I would go to this because, I'm always trying to find ways to engage my Muslim neighbors, and I don't always know how to do that. And I would like to hear how, the pros are doing that.
So what are the pros in your what do you think that, so if a person is attending for the first time, so for him or her, everything will be, of course, new material. But those who are returning, and last year about, I would say 30 to 40 people, 30 to 40% was new, returning.
Yes.
Those who, veterans basically, they're coming back, they have attended previous conferences. So help me to understand pros for both people group, those who are coming back and those who are brand new, considering to come to this.
I think this would be a good middle of the road one because you've got new people who have gone through trial and error with trying to engage their neighbors, but then you also have people that are a little bit more experienced and they can learn from each other.
Awesome. So basically, what we're looking at is experience, right? Experienced people are helping, but then also those who
maybe are a little afraid to step out and try, engaging with Muslims for the
so
first
for
time.
those, so there's the audience number 1 will be the one who have been to these things, they have learned those things, and probably they have
Try to put this into practice.
Right? And they can report back and help those new people to understand that. So that's a good thing for experience, that experienced people are sharing the experience. But the second one group that doesn't have experience, for them everything is new, but the idea is they will get to hear from somebody that has experience in it. So who is teaching this, sister? So who is the speaker, or who is leading the
I'm
panel?
looking that up actually now.
All right, so in a minute we will have the name of our speakers and a little bit about them. So when we talk about engaging at your doorstep, so for New York, we know that Muslim communities everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So tell me some of those people that you run into.
Well, my neighbors in my building, like many people, there's, I like to go to restaurants and cafes and coffee shops that are owned by Muslim people and try to start conversations there. And, you bump into people in the park, at the laundromat. There's
Subway.
I mean, they use a lot of everybody is, shares the same space, and so.
So you got also neighborhood specifics too. So there are certain neighborhoods here that where majority of people are actually Muslims, whether you're looking at shops or you're looking at the subway employees, metro, and all, or even the NYPD, a lot of especially those who in the traffic police, they are either Bengali Muslims, or so there is a lot of that kind of thing is happening. But how how that will be applicable to people coming from outside. So last year we had people from Tennessee, Virginia, Pennsylvania, so people from other places. Do you think that the number of Muslims is growing in those places too?
I think, I don't know the figures off the top of my head, but Islam is one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing religion right now. And so you may be coming from Tennessee or Indiana. I don't know I don't know statistics off the top of my head, but your communities are changing, and you have a unique opportunity to meet Muslim people. And I encourage you to think creatively and outside the box, and maybe bounce ideas off other believers who also are developing a heart or growing a heart for Muslims.
Yeah.
We can learn from each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And so who is teaching?
So basically we have Dr. Fadia.
Dr. Fadia?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And,
would you mind
great.
sharing a little bit about Dr. Fadia? You have worked with her
She
too.
started the Brooklyn Arab American Friendship Center.
Yeah.
And so she really has a great love for people from the Middle East who are predominantly Muslim. She herself does not come from a Muslim background. She comes from a Coptic background. But she really has a heart to minister to people and to meet people with the needs that they have, especially for immigrants, to learn simple things like navigating the school system when they have kids.
Oh, yeah, that would be
That's a big deal.
And
going to New York
that
City
sounds
school
like
system.
exactly what we're talking about. So it's a personal level. She is
Yes.
engaging on personal
Yes.
level. She is talking about there are some cultural and religious pitfalls that she can help us to
Right.
avoid simply because she grew up in a Muslim,
Majority.
predominantly Muslim culture
Right.
and neighborhood, and now she's here actually helping Arab folks, those who come from Muslim background, to know Lord Jesus Christ and understand American culture too.
Yes.
Because sometimes the problem is we think that the Muslim community thinks America is equal to Christianity. So the
Yeah.
cultural value, everything we do is translated into
America's a
this
Christian country, so
ex-
therefore everything that happens in America is a reflection of Christians.
Exactly. So I think this is precisely the type of person we need to lead this panel. And I also remember a couple years back, actually Dr. Fadia led one of the workshops, and her workshop actually was the largest.
Yes.
Most
Majority
attended.
of the people, most attended.
Yeah.
Most of the people attended her workshop, and she addressed some of the questions that Muslims have. In the panel we also have a couple of other people who will be joining her on this panel.
Courtney DeGratia, Jason Casper, and Dauda.
Awesome. And these are the folks who are engaging Muslims on regular basis, and we will be putting their bios up online. And you can read a little more about them. Actually, one of the Dauda is a excellent example because he comes from Muslim background, and he has actually planted church among Muslims here in one of the I would say one of the fastest growing ethnic church that among West Africans that at least I have come to know. So that would be our first panel.